So many teams struggle with tools wearing out quickly, especially when working with hard materials. Brent, how important are durability and longevity when it comes to cutting tools?
Those are critical components to helping companies maximize the value of the tools they're using. And so by having a broad selection of tools, we are able to kind of match and design tools that help companies maximize the longevity, the durability, which makes the company more efficient and therefore saves them money.
Saving money is always a good thing. Okay, how about this? Precision is crucial in so many of the industries that you guys work with. I mean, I'm thinking like aerospace and automotive manufacturing. So, how does Norseman achieve the high level of accuracy required for those fields?
That's a good question. When I hear precision, when I hear accuracy, I think of quality and even with that quality, consistency. So quality is endemic in every phase of our manufacturing process. It starts, I guess it would start with the raw material we use. We use a better grade of steel than what some of our competitors use. So that just gives us a better foundation on which we're starting. And then off of that, through the multiple steps, like people look at a drill bit and they don't necessarily realize there's over 10 different steps, sometimes 11, 12 steps that tool has to go through. Throughout that process, our operators are continually checking under a micrometer, looking at scales, magnifying glasses, ensuring that the quality is there throughout the process. And then at the end of the process, every batch of tools that we make goes through what we call our final audit. That is a process where they look at every parameter of the design specifications. A drill bit's never oversized, but you're allowed a certain tolerance undersize and make sure we're within that tolerance. The length is there. The chisel angles are what they're supposed to be. And so that is how we get the quality process. And from there, it goes to that precision or that reliability so that a quarter-inch drill bit is going to be like a quarter-inch drill bit. It's going to be like a quarter-inch drill bit. So you can rely on that throughout your process where one time you're not going to get 200 holes and the next time you get 10. It's that reliability that allows us to have repeat customers and develop a very strong brand loyalty, which is unusual in a commodity-driven market.
I hear what you're saying. And it kind of makes me think if you're working on something that's going to go into an airplane or a rocket, that's not really an area where you can skimp or say, it's good enough for who it's for. That has to be specifically perfect. But now let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about on-floor needs. In so many facilities, tools have to have, or they have to be able to handle a variety of materials and applications. What makes Norseman versatile enough to handle that challenge?
That comes down to, I believe, our expertise and then our experience. We've been doing this a long time. So the expertise in actually designing a product that is going to be very versatile. It's going to be able to be used across many different applications, many differing conditions. And then combined with our experience that allows us to educate not just ourselves, but educate our customers in how to best use that tool to maximize its longevity. Aluminum versus stainless steel, for example, you have very, very different RPMs you want to be running the tools at. So the same tool can be effective for both. It's using them differently in the same application that's going to allow customers, and that's our experience, and then like I'm saying, our expertise that allows that to bring that to the customer to experience that as well.
I think that's a good point. I think about RPMs on speed in general. When you're working with metal, it can often be such a critical component. And if you aren't paying enough attention to it, are you getting the lifespan out of the tool? Like, are you just sabotaging yourself from the start? Anyway, so let's change gears here one last time. Time efficiency is vital. Everybody wants more time. So how can Norseman help teams finish tasks and gain efficiency a little bit quicker?
Ooh, another great question. For years, our philosophy here at Norseman has been that we don't sell drills, we don't sell cutting tools, we sell holes. And too many people, too many purchasers only look at what the cost, the initial upfront cost of that tool is. And so we wanted to dive deeper and look at what the total cost of ownership for a drill bit. And a lot of times people look, really, you're actually going to try and do a total cost of ownership for a commodity? But we did. We brought in a bunch of our different competitors, all the same type and style of drill bit. We certified the half-inch thick steel plates so that they were within 2 or 3 Rockwell of hardness. So nobody was getting an easier or a more challenging test. And lastly, we did it on a CNC mill. So we took any operator bias out of the actual test run, because an experienced operator, I could make one drill look really good or make another one look really bad. This took that operator bias out of that. And so the results were pretty astonishing, even to us. We knew we had quality, right? We knew we had a good product. But the closest competitor to us was only able to get 48% of the holes that we were able to generate. So by extrapolating that math out, it to get the same number of holes, it would cost you, irrespective of the cost of the drill, it would cost the additional $2.08 per drill to get the same number of holes. So then we took it even another step further, and we actually calculated what the additional labor cost would be. And in order to do that, we had to do 2 assumptions. One, $40 an hour shop labor rate, and then 2, about 5 minutes every time you have to switch out a drill bit. And we know it doesn't take 5 minutes every time, but the time you got to go to the tool crib or the guy goes talks to his buddy, on average, we thought that was a fair estimate. And so based on those 2 assumptions, it would cost you another $1.73 in additional labor just to get the same number of holes. So when you put that together, you just add the math up, it costs you, and this is the best competitor that we saw, others were far worse than that, $3.81 per drill to get the same number of holes. So to just make it as simple as possible, if a purchaser saves their company 10 cents by buying a competitor's product, they're actually costing their company $3.71 additional because they didn't do the total cost of ownership. What's it actually going to mean when it gets out on the factory floor? So by knowing the total cost of ownership and using a more effective tool, your people are more efficient, you're saving money, and that's kind of the hallmark of where Norseman comes from.
And that doesn't even speak to the amount of time that they might be losing.
Exactly. So
Okay.
that's just a simple calculation based on empirical results that, like I said, we knew we were going to come out looking good on that, but we didn't know it was going to be as good as it turned out. So
The numbers speak for themselves.
absolutely.
Okay, Brent, I have liked every one of your answers, but I've taken more than enough of your time. Thanks for talking today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.